He's one of the ones at the top of the ladder there. And he's really popularized the Gnasher's Tooth on Echo because the auto attack's actually extremely strong for Echo considering the passive. It's definitely if you're facing more tanks though and you have more time to get out autos, I still, especially if it's a mid lane Echo, want that big burst damage. You go in, you E1 into Q and you cast Q while you're rolling into proto belting and then auto attacking after your E2 lands at the same time as your Q, and it's just so hard to deal with for any of these backline carries, particularly Ashe, who has no mobility. Yeah, it's actually pretty easy once you get used to it. It sounds cool when you're like E1, Q, E2, because there's two different.
Knight,
but
C7.
It's actually not that hard. The only thing you have to get used to is throwing your Q out while you're tumbling. And then obviously you can do cast your W into Zhonya's for the 3.5
stuff.
Yeah. But anyways, the whole point of that ramble is that Ashe is a great target. Syndra is a great target for Echo. And Yorick is a great target for getting cheers from the crowd.
Yes, it is. I like these Warwick's hovers. Is this Stixay love here?
Yeah, this is Stixay love. He's shouting out the former CLG starting AD carry who always hovers Warwick. Lee Sin it will be though, and there is the end to the mystery. It is indeed a mid lane Echo. Echo mid lane has been counterpicked into Syndra forever. Trying to play, it's an aggressive matchup though. You have to work off of kill pressure. So that's why I like the Lee Sin pairing here, because Lee Sin has so much mobility. You can actually capitalize on a lot of those Echo plays. Obviously, the most famous one is the attempted Echo dive, not getting the ultimate back off in time, and Syndra actually getting the kill under the tower. But hopefully that won't be the case for Jizuke this time around.
Pick the Rick. They want the Yorick. I don't think it's going to happen this time, gentlemen. It has happened recently, though.
Rowdy bunch.
Hope is there, but maybe not today. Final pick here for Counter Logic Gaming, and is going to be the playing top. He is. Yeah, playing top.
When you see Gragas and Syndra already locked in, you don't want AP topside. Gangplank, very, very good at helping out in those cross-map plays, obviously, with the ultimate. Can we even get anything through the Yorick wall?
I don't know. It's so strong.
Fair enough. Yorick into Gangplank, not a bad idea, by the way. Because you cannot orange out of the Yorick grave circle.
Can't.
Jace, though, actually gaining a lot of popularity on live patch because of the increased value for turret plates and melee champions dealing more damage relatively than range champions to turret plates. Jace can change between both, Riv, so you make your range advantage in lane, you pressure the Gangplank super hard, drop aggro in these side lane brushes, look for your EQs, poke him down, and then once you push him off the turret, you switch to melee, break that sucker down, and cash in either way.
You know, there's a lot of players to remember. My brain is kind of telling me Kumo has a sick Jace. I feel like I remember that from something.
It's because when he was on Cloud9 Academy, they subbed him in to the main roster.
Yeah,
so they subbed him in, and people are like, all right, he looks really good, but all of Cloud9 are playing around him, and he's playing Jace over and over.
Yeah.
But there's a reason it's in your head, Riv. This is Kumo's iconic champion. If you can attach an iconic champion to a player this early in their career, that's the one he's going to get. So let's see it. Kumo Jace into Ruins GP.
Yeah.
It's definitely advantage early, and he wants to pressure like we talked about.
And we got the mid lane matchup that does at least have aggression from one side. Syndra for Pole Belter. We know this is a huge pickup and he can make the plays happen, but can he when Jizuke is trying to jump in his face all the time and rewind time to do it all over again? This one's going to be a good one.
When I heard Jizuke was coming over to North America,
all right,
this is the type of champion I want to see him on. Echo and the Rise are the two most that pop into my head, and hopefully we can see some of those big aggressive plays, because if you talk to Jizuke in person, he always talks about how, the mid laners here, they don't play to win the lane. They don't take chances. They don't play aggressively. And so I want to see him make those choices, play aggressively, take the chances, and if he has success doing that and playing that way, then he will force change in his opponents. If you play that way and you fail, there's no reason for them to change, though.
Yep. Well, there was a reason to pause for the time being. Everybody will stop down. Best time to pause, though, I'd say.
Yeah.
Is not unless you were just like ready to go off the fountain, but I'd say this is a good time to pause.
Yeah, I think they're looking at their champ select and they're like, wait, weren't we supposed to have a York? I think the last pick was a York. No, just kidding. Okay, never mind. But honestly, yeah, Jizuke Echo, I'm actually super hyped for this one. He really made a name for himself, Worlds 2018 with Vitality. Those were the really great Jizuke years, playing super aggressively, completely changing the dynamics of professional play. That was such a big year.
And let's talk, head down to the Tigress, who's standing by with Irene to hear about Evil Geniuses.
Well, speaking of that aggression from Jizuke in 2018, I want to know from you, Irene, how the Echo pick taps into his strengths.
So I think Jizuke is most famous in EU about Echo. So I think this seems to pretty for picking Echo. So it's a good situation. So that's why we pick it and we believe him.
And how have you as a team worked around creating less of a coin flip around Jizuke and try and achieve some more consistency?
Yeah, so actually before I think we have some problem with inconsistency, but I think for now I think we seems to much better because even in Scream we don't make some risk play. We just instantly of that. We just play for team play. So I think it's much better as our team.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and see that team play in action.
I love it. Just to elaborate a little bit on Jizuke's Echo and the famousness, like we were talking about in Champion Select, this has always been a counter pick into Syndra because of the mobility of Echo, and he plays off of the assassination threat, the kill threat, to go for those trades like you just saw on your screen, to be able to pressure the Syndra and keep the wave pushed in, try and chunk her down. Basically, later on in the game, you can also E1 to the side, then look for and throw your Q out at the same time. If your Q tags him, you can also E2, close the gap, get your 3-hit passive. He really wants it. Yeah, Pobelter's baiting him a little. With
Nice dodge.
With the phase rush here. That's why I actually really like this rune choice for Pobelter. Phase rush gives Syndra some mobility to try and put him on par with the Echo. But basically, like you just saw, trying to finish off for the third hit for the passive there for Jizuke. Pobelter kind of baiting him and staying on that range. Very good close mouse usage there for both players. Pobelter's able to keep the range, doesn't take the bad end of the trade. But when you really get excited for this mid lane matchup is when you introduce junglers. Gragas and Lee Sin, extremely good at ganking towards the mid lane. Right now, Pobelter doing a good job, has the wave right in front of his turret, so it makes it a little bit difficult for Jizuke. He cannot play as aggressively. Echo, melee champion, makes it much more difficult. You don't go for trades unless you're hard committing, and if the Gragas is there, it's a big punish, so he has to play a lot more defensively now, throwing out his Q just to grab the CS, and hovering to the side of the map where he knows his jungler is. Scryer's Bloom does give away Gragas' location.
Yeah, they just saw Svenskeren a bit ago on the Hawk shot as well, so they knew he was heading towards bot side. There's a potion advantage towards Pobelter as he pops the last one, going in for auto attacks with Corrupting on. It looks like Scuttle for Scuttle. It's pretty even around the map to start things off. 25 to 19 on top CS though. That's a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
top
Definitely
are
different numbers. Great usage from Ruin on the Gangplank passive, by the way. This wasn't on screen for you guys to see, but contrary to what most would think, because dots in our game, usually when you reapply a dot, it just refreshes duration. For Gangplank's passive, Trial by Fire, you can actually, if you hide a barrel and reactivate the passive, you wait for the first activation of Trial by Fire to show up, so you see the fire on your sword. You get your auto attack, it burns them. You can actually stack it if you proc it again, and it doesn't just refresh the duration. You actually get both damages from it, and that can be one of the ways that Gangplank can have early good trades, that plus Grasp, of course, lead to some of the surprising scenarios where people think, oh yeah, barrels are useless early for Gangplank because it takes so long to charge down. If you hide them well, if you auto-attack them to lower the charges yourself and keep them in good places, they can still be useful early in the game, even before the charge down timer gets to a very effective range. Nice move here by Wiggly, shoving Kumo off the wave, denying CS.
Great start to this one. Ruin as well, controlling that top lane. That might pull Svenskeren up towards the top a little bit more, as we saw a fight just happen between him and Wiggly. Go towards Wiggly. So denying jungle now on the side of Evil Geniuses. CLG feels good here in the early game, and it seems like they just play with a lot more comfort. They aren't kind of making plays from behind or trying to push themselves into a dangerous position to make those plays. So it's more going to go your way. Looks like he leaves the tiny ones, and that's going to suck for Svenskeren.
Yeah, I really like how he's controlling the top side of the map for Ruin, while Ruin's able to push off and deny CS2 Kumo. Look at this Jace build. Double Doran's Blades early for Kumo. He's not able to build into lethality early or anything, try and look for extra pressure on Gangplank, extra kill threat. Meanwhile, you see the jungler hovering around that Echo lane around Jizuke because, again, so much of it does depend on the threat of the all-ins. And Echo actually, it's fairly difficult to land your stun by yourself, just in isolation on a Syndra. But if you have some help, Echo's so sticky with the passive procs.
Sheen by first. Ruin's going to feel great in that lane, queuing over and over. Drake first. Cloud into what? What's going to be changing our rift? We'll have an idea after this first one goes down. Hits the barrel on the second connect. And we'll have Ocean or Mountain to change our rift this game. And it's a good pickup by EG to start things off, knowing the top lane's kind of getting pushed in a bit. Put the pressure towards bot, where you have an advantage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the bot lane recalled there for Wind and Smoothie. Wind is able to teleport it back, but EG slip right in. Svenskeren grabs up the dragon with a little help from the bottom lane roaming over. And this is going to be a very, very positive situation for EG. Now that he is 6 as well, Jizuke, he had immediately used his ultimate previously on that trade. So you can tell no trailing icon there behind Echo, and Pro Belter with the ultimate advantage for now. Maybe CLG look for an opportunity there because Gragas flashing in, locking up an Echo, and Syndra with the ultimate advantage.
Yep.
Actually, you can get a kill on Echo pretty early. So definitely something EG need to protect against, and CLG should look for that offensive opportunity.
Wind playing very safe. Smoothie, go clear some wards. I want to stay safe. I don't think they want to push up to a Tom Kench and a Varus at this point anyways. Level 6s are starting to come out, and with Wind at 5, he's got to play very careful. You also have Gangplank ultimate you have to worry about throughout this one as Kumo continues to take those Sheen parlays to the face. Low on mana as he just tries to farm it out. And the big goal difference, 300 towards that top side, but that's Gangplank.
Yeah, Ruin's loving it.
Yeah.
Farm up on the minions, you charge up, wait for your grass proc, and going for your parlay. Attempting the barrel chain there, does not get it. Now he's got his trial by fire, as you can see by the fire on his sword too, but
Burning the minion.
burns the minion. Can't get his auto on Kumo because he's staying at range. Out of mana though for Kumo. No corruption potion charges either, so it is not going to get better quick for him.
Ooh, they're still going to try to play towards top side here. He's low on mana, but they have pulled the bot lane up. We see Bang already coming over. And it's not going to be Jizuke helping out on this one. He's pretty far away. Pro Belter's also staying in mid, so it looks like EG may have manipulated the map just enough to make sure they're not contested here on the Rift Herald. Very nice move, especially with Kumo being down so early.
Yep, better coordination here from EG. And even though you look at both these AD carries and you say, all right, the level 6s mean that Ashe and Varus can both start fights. They can both CC with their ultimates. Problem is the Tom Kench on the Evil Geniuses side, right? That's why it's not a fair trade for Wind and Bang. Just eat them right out of the arrow. Meanwhile, the Braum trying to stand in front as well with the Unbreakable to try and deny those all-ins. Good rotation there from EG though. Bang and Zaza will arrive at the 2v1 to try and start harassing down some of these turret plates, which Kumo was unable to do.
Ooh. Said he wanted it for a second there, but he knew he could just get the damage onto Bang and push it back. Hit it? So close. No cigar. Still waiting on 1:30 for the next Drake to come up onto this one. Another very patient game with a late first blood. Doesn't seem like anybody wants to put themselves in a very dangerous spot on this one as we're pretty equal gold. We do see an advantage, however, coming from Ruin. It's been closed up a bit with that CS from Kumo. However, he did put his money into double Doran, so it's going to be a bit later for his buy.
Yeah, and just look at your map. I mean, because they swapped it down, he's able to push one wave into the turret. That's getting denied, so Ruin won't pick it up. And he immediately goes right back out topside. Run away from the gangplank, basically.
It works.
After he was able to get the early jungle attention. And now, finally, he's able to get some lethality in. Picks up his first Dirk, so he'll have a little bit more bite to his offensive combos, looking for the harassment.
It always feels terrible when you go shock blast something and you're looking for big damage and nothing actually happens. You're just tickling the opponent. So looking for a bit more there from him as the map starts to get to level 6s. We might see a fight here for our objective in 1 minute.
Yeah, other thing I like is the better preparation from EG. The Dragon's coming up in 37 seconds, so they already have dual lane back down bottom. Meanwhile, CLG are in their awkward swap right now. They're sending Syndra top because Poe Belter does have teleport as well. So even though they're dropping a few more minions on the towers to these pushes, they're trying to get it in a spot where they don't immediately concede Dragon due to their duo lane being top side and not having a teleport up there. Poe Belter is the one who's going to take that up. Says, I will hold it against the Kumo. Make sure that they don't get another uncontested objective. Here we go, though.
Depending on how that happens, you might see Poe Belter get a solo kill if he can get Kumo far enough under his turret. Kumo's not going for anything aggressive, though, down to the river, actually, so he can meet EG and gather with the team here towards the mid lane. Looks like we might get our first kill just around 12 minutes as Infernal Drake looks to be contested. Remember, again, that teleports up for Poe Belter, and they will stay topside with Kumo. So looks like EG is going to go ahead and get scuttle control and see how CLG moves before activating anything on this fight.
Big
The pressure.
activation here with the Rift Herald. They will be able to get the blades. They're not starting up the Dragon during it and just going to continue to pressure away. Bang trying to farm up a bunch of extra money, and CLG are forced to go that long way around to try and answer because of the extra vision from Evil Geniuses. Let's see if they go for the actual smite fight here, because there is a ward inside for CLG.
Big hit from Bang onto Wiggly. Wiggly can still come over the wall. He channels Predator on. Just try to deter Evil Geniuses off of the Drake. Arrow misses wide.
Big.
And Jizuke is going to try to hit the back line. CLG is going to be pincered in this one, but do they have the flank as well from the Tri-Brush? A very scattered fight. That's going to be the Drake going over to Svenskeren. He takes Unleashed Power and he dodges the scatter, but it's going to be the kill coming in from Wiggly in the jungle. We're now 1-for-1 on this fight as wind has gone down and the mountains will rise as the fight continues. A double kill for Kumo, who has held his breath all lane for this fight to happen.
Yeah, Kumo's cashing in,
Oh,
Riz.
man.
2 kills and a bounty now on that Jace. Meanwhile, Svenskeren kept his eyes on the Dragon, and with the extra damage that was coming through with the Gangplank ultimate, it burns down low enough for a Sonic Wave. Smite Q comes in. Evil Geniuses get the Dragon. They get the extra kills. They also burn more flashes, forcing CLG all to flash out of the back of that Dragon pit. So all going according to the evil plan.
Super split on that one, back and forth. I'd love to see it again because it was so hard to even see who would have the right positioning. You have a Gragas barrel that could have come in really well orchestrated in the end by EG, and they gain a bit more gold on that mid lane turret. Bot still being pushed by Kumo as he's ready and waiting with a minion wave. Should be able to drop at least one more plate if Ruin doesn't get there in time. EG's set up all over the map to just keep kind of picking up gold after that fight.
Meanwhile, Bang right back at it. They swap to the top sides. Bottom tower goes down to Kumo. Meanwhile, whittling away here. And Bang with the fully completed Blade of the Ruin King, and as well as upgraded Ninja Tabby. Even with a lot of CC on the enemy team, doesn't go for the offensive usage. He does have a Tom Kench, so doesn't want to get any tenacity or anything, but went with the physical damage reduction because barrel chains, a lot of AD carries, I guess, have nightmares of late game barrel chains from Gangplank. So you get a bit of extra armor snuck into the build. It doesn't help too much with the auto attack passive that you're getting from it,
Yeah.
but a little bit more tanky for possible Gangplank later on.
I like that synergy with Zazel. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can just get him gobbled up like you were saying. He also has Merc Tread, so he can stay very safe. Almost cleansed, but not so much. Just about 1K gold lead, 1.7 in the favor of EG, so not too much to work with here, but that power of Kumo can really be delivered from the Fog of War if Evil Geniuses can create it. He's starting to come up towards the mid lane a bit, kind of warding and clearing wards, and we'll see where this ends. He may do a double push with Jizuke in mid lane, and they'll just seed over the Rift Herald to counter Logic Gaming, which wouldn't be too bad of a play at this point. Plates are down. Sure, they're going to be able to drop a turret, but you might be able to get the fight. Svenskeren with Sonic Wave, the Resonating Strike. Oh, he just fights it anyways. Gets it, not snuffed out. They had 20 seconds to grab it anyways, and the resulting fight. There goes Svenskeren once again, always hit Q after the first one, but he goes down first. Can CLG return on this fight what they have just received, and they are going to lose another one. Another double kill for Kumo at 4-0 now. And a 400 gold bounty. He is feeling real good on the Jace pick at this point.
Oh man, Svenskeren casually walks up, smites it at max smite range. That's just on the edge of the range of the ability there. Then kicks him in the head. Jizuke then goes in for a trade on to win, but big POB comes over. Don't mess with my AD carry, and runs Jizuke off so Win can walk out.
Having a little fun there with Jizuke as he exits, but Evil Geniuses grab a pretty good hold on the early part of this game. As we see Jizuke head back towards mid. We'll see this fight one more time towards the top side. Just quick smite, and then Svenskeren kind of throws himself in.
Yeah, I mean, he's hovering on the edge of the range there, gets the smite, then it kind of looks like he thought, oh, did I get it or did I not get it?
Wind! Like the wind.
Yeah, I mean, this is CLG teammate protection here. Everybody's trying to bodyguard a Wind from Jizuke, who keeps on trying to get that AD carry kill, but not going to find it here. Smoothie this time around is able to apply enough defense to barely keep Wind alive.
Look, he teleported to mid and then had to flash immediately after that.
Oof, yeah.
Jizuke was ready to jump on him.
Meanwhile, you can see Zeyzal always hovering right behind Bang there. The Devour Summoner spell always at the ready.
Is it clear? Double pinks around the Drake. We've got 19 seconds until we have the first of those mountains. And it's only 2 away from Evil Geniuses. They have really good Rift control this game. And objective control all around the Drakes. Arrows up for Win. Smoothie's Glacial Fissure is about to come up. Kumo towards the bot side. 400 gold bounty. They don't even want it first. You can see the damage he does now. A lot of lethality finished. And that Yomu's Ghostblade, another serrated Dirk in his pocket. And he throws on a Corrupting Pot just to add a bit more to boot for the 2v1. CLG is the first to the bottom. Kumo is trying to split this one, and he is now the lone and lonely out of the fight, but Jizuke teleports in. I don't think they know he's here just yet. Parallel Convergence is going to miss for him. They still want Kumo a lot. That's cast over. Chrono Shift back, and it looks like they're going to be safe for now. All the attention from EG has really been on the Drake. Is that going to cost them, though? CLG is still in a tight spot here. They're going to lose Pobelter immediately before he gets a chance to ult. Smoothie now has to flash out of the fight. Parallel Convergence just hitting on the edge for Jizuke as the man goes forward with Phase Rush and the rest, or I should say his passive speed and the rest. And everybody's going to be able to pick up one more on Win for that. 3 members of Counter Logic Gaming down as Evil Geniuses continue to pad the KDAs.
Great team fight. So look at the pincer movements this time around. The Evil Geniuses just splitting CLG up. You could see 2 separate packs for CLG. 2 members trying to contest the Dragon, which was Pobelter and Smoothie, I believe, was the other one with him, separated up by the Dragon Pit, but the other 3 members were corralled under their turret on the bottom side, and then EG just move in. Nice job there by Kumo. Take a look at this separation. It is Smoothie up there with him. It's these 2. The rest of the team is under, so Kumo just says, yo, you're sandwiched in between me and the rest of my team. So not only do the Evil Geniuses take the Dragon, they also take the kills and run CLG back to base. Wind, nobody around to protect him because both of his previous protectors, Riv, Pobelter and Smoothie, had been killed. So nobody's around to help him out, and he goes down to Jizuke in the 3rd attempt.
Yeah, it's starting to fall apart a bit here for Counter Logic Gaming as the leads, just an item altogether here for EG, are pretty much able to wipe out the CLG health bars. Kumo doing with one shock blast at this point. And Bang's protection has been perfect. 0-0 and 4 for him. 1-0 and 4 for Zeyzal. And the rest of the team Now looking at Svenskeren to be the initiator here. He's the only one that's gone down, but it's been for an advantage in Evil Genius's favor, so no problem there.
Yeah.
That's the reason you're going down. 36.1 to 30 as they just tick over 30,000 gold on the side of CLG.
CLG in a really rough spot now, because you look at their team and you're like, okay, you start spamming, all right, guys, we got to farm for late. But there is a soul coming up in just a little under 3 minutes, and EG have such a tremendous lead right now. It looks so difficult for CLG to have any sort of way to contest the soul coming up. Mountain Soul going to provide so much more defense for this already loaded offense team that EG have drafted here.
Yeah.
And yes, they do have possibilities. Okay, we gotta go super late game. Gangplank, once you get multiple items, you can have barrel chains that change the entire game and you get these big burst combos.
Syndra plays with Elder.
Exactly. Poe Belter's on Syndra. You can always put your bets on the Poe Belter cap there. If we go 3 more Barons and 3 more Elder Dragons, then maybe we farm that one out. But besides that, EG right now, they've got lethality stacked Varus. Kumo got so much out of these dragon fights. He was the one to get so many of the kills that he put it into early power. This lethality stacking means 1 EQ Shock Blast lands on the back line. Then either Wind or Poe Belter is either out of the fight or in a position where Jizuke can kill them. Because Jizuke has the Proto Belt that we mentioned as part of the combo. Flash available with Echo. Echo with Flash and Proto Belt can close basically a screen's worth of distance onto a backliner. And those are 2 low mobility backliners.
Jizuke just able to solo Ruin and give him a little what for. I'd say Ruin came out pretty good on that fight. Didn't lose too much of his health bar and should be able to heal back up. We'll have to see. Evil Geniuses also have a team comp that when they win these fights, they can basically roll through turrets in a matter of seconds with what they're bringing to the table, especially with the items that now supplement them. Dodge through the uprights. It's just no damage traded back is ever really enough to change Evil Genius's mind. They can still stay in the jungle, create another opportunity, and when you have the chance to do that, one of them's going to work soon enough.
All right, if the observers are listening, let's try and do a vision toggle for CLG's perspective, because just imagine how scary this is. Your map is completely dark. Baron is available. Mountain Soul is coming up in 37 seconds. The enemy team has a Fed Jace with lethality that will shock blast you from any of these angles, and an Echo that could be waiting in a brush to 100% you. What is your counterattack, right? You have to say, all right, we got to huddle up, strengthen numbers, go 5 people strong and just rush in there and hope we can make a big play. Because EG just have complete vision control and the items to back up plays off of that vision.
I mean, you don't know that Svenskeren is alone by like 2,000-3,000 range right there. Obviously, Lee Sin could probably slip out anyways. Oh my god! Jizuke almost zeroing out Wiggly. You saw a Summoner Heal come in there to take him back up to about 200 HP from Smoothie, but it had to be fast fingers there because Jizuke was on the verge of getting a solo kill.
And Jizuke's ultimate cooldown with the blue buff is at 43.2 seconds on Echo. So he uses it there.
Come up again this fight.
Yeah, you get it back in 1.5 minion waves, basically, as they come every 30 seconds. Now they're sectioned again. CLG pincered.
Arrow going right through. Nice dodge by EG as CLG tries to do what they can. Jizuke takes the unleash damage, and he's going to get gobbled up. Does not have that ult to get back for himself just yet, though. Zazel's Grey Health comes in, and CLG is looking at the Drake going down in front of him. That Soul Drake shields now to passively the side of Evil Geniuses.
Shields up for Evil Geniuses, and a Baron likely to be down. Kumo's messing around, wants to add more insult to injury to try and get this red. Can he snipe it? POB taking him home.
Almost.
Nope, he's gonna run to the real home, back to the Bramble Pit.
I like how he slows down. He gets like, that was a tough run. Tough run. Okay, so Baron going over 25 minutes in here, just about. To the side of EG, great control into that. 5.5 minutes on to Elder, so let's see what they can get before all that happens. Bang just free walking in. He's like, I'm gonna go clear this ward alone since all their vision encroaches up to CLG's base at this point. So there's really nowhere that isn't safe for EG.
Yeah, Bang on the green Chroma of the Varus skin. I believe that's the lead partner program Chroma. They're almost all green. Trying to shout out the stream there. Ash Arrow goes through Evil Geniuses, and so does Jizuke here. He's able to come from the bottom side, finish off the kill onto the enemy jungler, and even though his ult's not back up, Zeyzal's there and is able to devour him in melee range. They walk back out, Mountain Dragon goes down, they immediately get their shields and walk right over to Baron.
So top lane's pushed by Pobelter. He can come to help the team now. A little bit of breathing room in one lane. So they can go between mid and bottom. This does actually help quite a bit, so you don't have to be spread as thin when you defend on the side of CLG. 8-2 here, so it's not that scrappy of a game. It's just the fights are always going in favor of VG, and now can CLG make this happen? Rangers focus onto Zeyzal, but it's going to be a tanky one in the front. Oh, Kumo into the middle as he dives in, but it's scary when you go hammer form right away, and a lot of members dropping on both sides, but EG again comes out on top of the fight. Abyssal Voyage into the base to find where Ruin could go. No, they go back to mid lane to pull the minions up. Heady plays coming in from Zeyzal and the team, as Jizuke is just going to dance it out with Ruin here.
Red Rover, send Ruin right over. Jizuke goes in for the tower dive.
Oh, kill secure.
How many has he got now? Kumo racking them up there on the Jace. Finds one more. Legendary for Kumo on his signature pick, and that's going to be it. Baron buff for EG. Rolling through the base like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, these games are going fast in the back half of the day, and we're going to see EG trying to top that one previously by Golden Guardians versus Dignitas. They are inside the base, 13-3, and it looks like CLG is going to try to get midways pushed out with a little bit of vision here, but they only have so far to go.
Now, Riv, so much has been talked, all split about how close all of the teams in the middle of the standings for the LCS here.
Yeah.
But with a 2-0 weekend here for Evil Geniuses, moving up to 7 wins for themselves, they are really starting to create some separation between them and the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
And this is the time where a lot of the teams have made their roster swaps. They've made their gambles, their bets to try and snag wins here right before we close in on the last few weeks. This is the perfect time to make your push. And right now, we'll take another look at the initiation on his Garen, who was saved by Zeyzal there. Devour, pretty big once again. Zeyzal with the stone plate means that he's not really a viable target either on Tumken. And then finally, once the DPS arrives, Duque as well as Kumo rips them apart. Bang just firing away on the Varus the entire time. And they return to finish the job.
Let's see what they can get. EG remembered. They said, we will not be another win for you, CLG. We may have been your first, but that was the last you'll get from us as Evil Geniuses starts to take the last inhibitor inside CLG's base. See if they can get the Nexus turrets here. Cask is just going to be to delay. That means that CLG doesn't have much to fight with, though, but you're going for broke at this point, and you're trying to play all of your cards. Just hopefully it's the right play. Jizuke now going towards the bot side of the map as you see him dive off to bring in that last minion wave that may just be too much for CLG.
All right, one turret left, CLG.
Oh, he's going to teleport back in.
It would be
He's out of here.
Completely counter logic for them to be able to defend this. Hint, hint.
Much needed win. Evil Geniuses have a tough schedule coming up after these. And I don't think it's going to happen for CLG this time. The Nexus is open, it's down below half HP, and EG's just trying to pad the stats to get the last bit of HP out of it. Who's gonna put that last chunk of change from the Nexus in their pocket? Looks like it's Jizuke taking that one with a smile on his face as EG takes the win.
Yeah, he even got his ultimate off.
Yeah,
in between